call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man!
Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No, man!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade.
Hey, and welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, the God of Stubborn, the Lord of Laughter, Old Man Wade. Jesus Christ. And to my left is Super Bowl Coach Bobby. Yo. To my right, Big Lips, the Alienize, the lead guitarist in his band, Toya.
Hola.
And to her right is the Shuri, the my T'Challa, my twin Manda.
Yeah, that escalated.
So Panda. Hey.
Yo, we just recorded something.
I told you
that I legitimately had to stop. I was like, I can put some edit points in here. I had to get rid of all of that.
Yeah, I wanted to see how far we go.
See, I told you can have a good Monday. Just add a little panda to your day. Hey.
Yin, yin, yang.
I just want to say that statement at the end, Amanda, made my point.
Listen.
Wow.
Yo, I'm moving on.
I'll own it.
Wow,
Yo,
she's just happy and you're hating on that.
I'm not.
You're hating on that. I don't even
a lot of people
understand.
give me that type of
Yo,
feedback.
you know
They be
what?
like, why are you so happy? Why you not?
Right, get over it. She's just a bubbly person.
I'm dealing with a lot.
You
You wouldn't even
Exactly,
believe
and she
what I'm
chooses
dealing
to be
with.
happy instead. You got a problem?
Yo, why'd you? What's going on?
I legit am not even
Yo, I
like.
can't even hate in peace.
No, you cannot. You won't let me be happy in peace. Can I get a corkscrew? So yeah.
Alright, I'm trying to get happy in this
Wakanda
cup.
forever.
So, that moves into my, wow. That moves into my thing.
Yes,
You're
I
right,
will
man.
kill you for Wakanda. Okay? I will take you out, Harvey, for Wakanda. Okay?
You niggas here.
Oh, you're not telling me,
I
guys.
don't mean that no good way. So, I might as well get into it. So, me and Maria were on the way to South Bay to get a phone fixed, right? And I didn't know how much like that area, like South Bay, had been colonized.
Yo,
Man, listen.
This is Forever 21 over there, and also
Oh, yeah.
It's heroin.
Nike
Nike outlet.
or something like that.
Panera's over there now.
there's a mega Starbucks.
The Starbucks is
Yeah.
over there. They're building condos across the street from the
Isn't
Stop and
Nike
Shop
there
gas
too?
station. Yeah, Nike's there. Nike's there in Converse. They have a Converse
Yeah.
outlet there now too.
Yo, so
Yo, the heroin addicts are flossing right now.
Yeah.
so I'm
You're just gonna let that one slide, huh?
I am
Yes.
because it's like right around the corner. So, and I don't think people realize they'll get robbed being there late at night.
Yeah.
No.
No, you
Those
know
ain't
what's
crackheads, Those are
crazy?
heroin heads.
You
man.
know
Don't
what's
do it.
crazy? When you finish the movies and you come out that parking garage and you have to hook that right, you come behind this like dark area. Yeah, they got lights. But I'm like, yo, somebody's gonna get robbed back here. It's prime robbing area. Like the whole little strip before you get back to the main road.
That's
It's
like
crazy.
That's like prime, like cut you off type of area.
Yeah.
So we're driving. So Maria's driving up, and you know how like sometimes you can't see a smaller car behind two other cars. So if you're backing out of a spot, you should be more cautious of who's coming out because they have the right of way. Correct?
Right.
Now I don't drive, and I know that. So this guy's backing up, almost hits Maria's car, not paying attention, and then kind of shoos us off. I almost got out the car and fucked him up.
Really?
Yo, let me tell people something.
Yo, the cops respond quickly in that area.
I understand that,
Alright.
but let me tell people something. Just because you colonize an area,
Yeah.
your privilege will still get your ass whooped.
Damn.
Let's call it like it is. And I will look at a motherfucker and go, if you press charges, I will.
Damn it, Wade.
Oh, what? Damn.
Sodomy.
Yo, why you gotta look at
So yeah, that shit will get you stopped. Like, and say what you will, and if they be like, "Oh well, Bob, I'm a press charger," that's fine. I'll get some community service. I will find you. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say I'm gonna beat their ass again, but I will terrorize the shit out of them.
Taken.
Yo,
I was thinking
You're so
that.
angry about this.
I am so angry about that. How the fuck do you do that? I don't. You know what's funny? I shouldn't even say it's a colonizer thing. It's like, yo, people have this sense of entitlement that will get them fucked up.
I really can't stand entitlement.
But that's driving in Boston in general.
Yo, what happened in the city?
What happened? Where you been?
Yo, I didn't peep it till Maria pointed it out, because I walk with blinders on. Leave me alone, I'll leave you alone.
I grew up in the South End, and it's like I feel like an ornery Texan when I drive through that area. I'm like, where are all these people coming from with their drugs? Get out of my neighborhood! Like, it's
With
crazy.
drugs, where the fuck were you in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s?
Yeah.
No. But Pete, this is a different, and this is why, like, growing up in that area, right, especially around Dudley, definitely a lot of crackheads, definitely a lot of violence in the 90s. But that was just the 90s, right?
They ain't there no more.
Exactly. But that was even before, like the early 2000s. The mayor of Boston arrested a lot of people, and the violence did go down for a while, right? The crack epidemic kind of fell off because crackheads got older, and us, my generation, we're not going to do that.
It's been working out too good.
So, as the neighborhoods are getting better, you start seeing all these people coming from the suburbs, coming into the city with heroin addictions, right? And they're actually doing drugs outside where families that grew up in these neighborhoods are walking by and nobody's doing anything about it. Like, I feel a type of way about it as these people are drinking alcohol. But anyways,
but no, and that's
let me get a cup.
No.
That's a tip.
See, you stopped your whole conversation for that cup.
Hold
But
on,
you
hold
know,
on.
but no,
I'm heated, man. I'm really angry about that.
But that shit kind of pisses me off, and then it's like I get people like, the pill epidemic, motherfucker. There's been an epidemic, bless you, in my hood, in my neighborhood since the fucking 80s, probably longer. But now it's an epidemic because fuck out of here with that, man.
No, but that's a problem.
But they
were arresting crackheads.
Yeah, like
they're not arresting these dudes.
What's the difference?
The difference
You're
is that
building
right.
centers for them and
No,
giving
not-
them
no,
places
Yeah.
to stab themselves while people watch and make sure they give them Narcan to wake back up. It just doesn't make any sense.
But that's what they're doing. That's a difference in their actions.
It's a
but the
waste.
reason why they're treating them differently is because these people are their like nieces and nephews.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? When it was our uncles,
Absolutely.
and our dads,
they didn't care
weren't
about
doing
that
it.
because it wasn't affecting
You know what
them.
I'm saying? It's like it was. Yo, honestly, like, I don't know if I could talk about this much without getting too heated. You got me heated. Damn
Yeah,
it.
but you know what's even funny about that is
Damn it,
they used to shit on Eminem for talking about that shit. Because he was hip hop. Specifically because it was hip hop.
Can we talk about that?
No.
No, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
No.
Because I know you like Eminem, right? So
Me
Eminem,
too.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me finish my statement. But let's talk about the fact that rock and roll stars have been talking about drugs and overdoses and shit like that
Yeah.
for decades. You know what I mean? But then all they do is harp on like rappers who talk about smoking weed and stuff like that.
But it was way more. It was way more. It was way more hidden in the lyrics. It wasn't as blatant as it was.
What's the difference? Who's talking about it?
Difference between Purple Dragon and
Purple.
I'm gonna take 30 milligrams of Xanax
Yo, go back
and wash it down with codeine.
You're a rockhead, so
You know what I'm saying?
like Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
Aerosmith, The Beatles,
Yeah.
Ground Control to Major Tom. I can't remember his name. David Bowie.
David
Bowie. Like these are songs. They did songs specifically about drugs.
They did songs while they were on drugs.
And talked about you can't be talking when you're looking for the Eggman. You're the Eggman and the Walrus. Whatever, man.
Alice in Wonderland was made when she was high. Alice Walker was high when she did that.
All I'm saying is that I blame Eminem for all these dudes in my neighborhood that I grew up in on heroin.
Why are you blaming Eminem for that?
Is that the moral of the story?
No, I'm not. The moral of the story is I'm just pissed off that people really have this entitlement of like I can just do whatever the fuck
Do
I
you
want.
feel like it's worse because of Trump?
No, I feel like
I do.
I do.
I don't think the entitled. I think
Really?
the entitled.
Why?
I think I'm of two minds about that. The entitlement has always been there.
Yeah, but
I
they're
think
more open about
they're
it
more
now.
open about it. The one thing, and you know what's funny thing about it is, and this is one that's actually one of the most disgusting things I see people do. And you drive a lot, probably more than anybody in here, so you see this when an ambulance or a police officer has their sirens on, they're going, move the fuck out of their way. I watch people cut ambulances off. I watch, it's like, yo, where the fuck are you going that's more important than someone whose life might be on the fucking line?
Well,
Who the
first,
fuck are you?
don't get a license, because you're going to fucking have a stroke driving.
He and I
in the
had
city.
this conversation the other day. He already told me he's not getting one.
Because I agree with you. But that's just how the city is.
Yeah, it's been like that.
I might have to because I want out of the state, so I'm gonna have to eventually.
I actually have a real world example of how this epidemic affects normal, everyday Bostonians trying to live their lives. A friend of mine has a tooth infection, and they need to go to the emergency room. It's on the weekend. They can't go to the dentist. They go driving to Boston. They go to one of the major hospitals, huge ER, expecting to wait maybe an hour or two to be seen. She has a fever. She's really sick. She gets there. All the beds are taken by addicts who are overdosing.
What?
She waits 5 hours.
Damn.
5 hours before leaving, because nobody says anything, and she just sees all these people coming in with overdoses, and their priority, right? Their priority.
Because they're coming in on the ambulance. She should have went outside and called the ambulance for herself.
But that's ridiculous. Like, I don't know what the
You have
answer
to
is.
pay for that just so that they can
Yeah.
give you the attention that you needed. That's crazy.
I don't know if it's Trump's fault, because this is an epidemic that's been growing even under Obama. It has nothing. It's everything to do with the pharmaceutical companies or whatever. But Trump said that he was going to do something about it. Yo, Trump, because this is affecting the communities that voted for Trump. So Trump told them, he was like, listen, this is a big problem. I'm going to fix it.
Because Trump and a politician never lie.
And none of the answers he has are going to work. You know what I'm saying? He wants to give a couple of $1 million to a program here and there. Yo,
I believe it when our school system isn't trash, and I believe it when Flint gets water.
We need somebody way more smart. We need somebody smarter than him.
Amanda, do you think it is more open now because of Trump?
Definitely. I think, I really feel like people had their racist views from before, but now that their president is openly racist and prejudiced, they feel like they can do it too. Like, hey, my president is allowing this. I can do it too. And they're jumping on his bandwagon, and it's just coming out in the open more. Like, it's crazy.
So we're talking about the racism, or we're talking about
The white privilege, the racism, all of that. I
Really?
feel like it's out there more now. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't there before.
It's more acceptable now.
So, man, is there anything that's inspiring this train of thought?
No, just something that happened recently, and it's one of those things like, and I've mentioned this on the podcast before. I'm on medication for my depression. So what my medication does is it makes me more aware of my emotions, and it helps me accept my emotions. You know what I mean? So when I'm angry, I'm not like enraged anymore, because I understand why I'm angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I come and I look at the things going on, and it's just like, how are you doing something to somebody else that you wouldn't want done to you?
People do that shit all the time.
Well, the reason why I asked that, because we were in a pretty hot debate on Facebook, right?
We can get into that. But Toya had something. I think Toya had something to say, and I want to make sure she got her point out. You were like Trump did. You was asking. You brought up if you thought Trump was the reason.
It
for all
was
this.
just a question, because I feel like people are more bold now.
Yeah.
People are more in your face with it now, when before it was kind of like, oh, let me, not be so aggressive with it. But now it's like,
They just don't give two fucks at all.
Yeah, but I appreciate that, though.
Appreciate what? The honesty and the openness?
No, because Dave, right after Trump got elected, on Saturday Night Live, there was a skit with Dave Chappelle? And Chris Rock and a bunch of white folk, right? And then the white people, they were cool. They were upset that Trump won, right? And Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock are like, well, we know the whites, right? Like, we knew it was going to happen. Like, this was hidden, right? Like you say, like they feel bold now, but it's not like they didn't have those feelings before. So I kind of, in Boston, when they had, in Boston, I think last year, they had the rally, the white supremacist rally, right? They came out.
It wasn't a white supremacist rally. It was a
All Lives Matter rally.
It was white nationalists.
White nationalists, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
they
same.
came
It's one and the same.
I know.
Right? So they came out. They're like, yeah, our guys in the White House, we can do whatever we want. And so they were bold enough to put that on Facebook, all the social media outlets. Come to find out, only about 100 of them shows up, right? 40 to 50,000 counter protests show up, right? So it's rallying people. Now, Democrats are winning all over the country, right? On the backs of people actually being angry. I had a conversation few years ago, because, I've always been into politics. A lot of people not so much, right? And I remember saying that once I started having conversations with people about politics that never wanted to have conversations with politics, some shit went down, one, and two, alright, people were ready to start getting nasty with it, start getting to the voting booth. So
I still don't like talking about politics.
You don't gotta talk about it, but you're thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You're thinking about it more.
I've always thought about it, but there was just those three topics I've never liked to engage
Politics,
in.
religion,
religion, and family. I've never liked to touch.
But why is that?
Because they're sensitive. They're touchy topics. Like, people really get.
They get upset.
They get real
But
in their
what's wrong
feelings
with
about
that?
it.
Yo, me and you, we have conversations.
Right, but you and I can have a respectable disagreement.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Not everyone can do that. You have to know who you can disagree with and be able to get up and be like, yo, we're going to get some food? Like, I'm hungry. You can't do that with everybody.
100% right. This is white dude at my job who voted for Trump. And we had, the Thursday after, we got into a heated argument.
Yeah.
That Friday, we got to a discussion this time around. Like, you know what I mean? And our relationship's fine. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't agree with him. He didn't agree with a lot of things that I said. But he understood my grievances as a black male. He didn't... Let me rephrase that. He didn't get it, but he understood my anger. He understood my disappointment in that. You know what I mean? So I can have a conversation with somebody like that. And like that Monday, we're chilling, like, you know what I mean, at work, laughing and joking, like, and anything like that. I don't agree with who he voted for. But I can have that conversation with somebody who's actually going to try to, at the very least, understand where I'm coming from in a situation like that.
Yeah, but when the shit hit the fan, is he going to have your back?
He is. He is, and he would. Like, he's actually had my back in a situation where someone's come at me with some, like, nonsense, and he basically was like, nah, that's not Mark. You know what I mean? So, and I said to him, and I was like, and I actually brought that up. I was like, see, there's a difference between, because he said, you're a big black dude, da-da-da-da, no one's really going to fuck with you. I go, you say that, but I'm only one guy.
Right, if it's a
Four
punch
racist dudes might get drunk and get in their feelings, and then go and try to jump me. I'm like...
Alright, so X it out. What if it's not you? What if it's another dude that's by himself, another black guy that's by himself? Is he going to step in and be like, y'all are wrong? Or is he stepping in only because it's you and he knows who you are?
It's one of those situations where you're just not going to know until the situation arises. And
right, when the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Like, whose side is he on?
Well, that's the problem right there, right? And not you, but I think this is on both sides, right? It becomes... It's not... Well, you know what? I'm not going to say that for this. I usually agree with that, but for this discussion, I'm going to be a little bit more civil, right? So it becomes not, I disagree with you because I think that the country could be run slightly different, slightly better, right? It's, I disagree with you because I don't trust you. And the reason why that happened is because we took our politics and we attached it to our religion, we attached it to the way we view other people, like, white people are Republicans, black people are Democrats, right? Like, that, it shouldn't be that way. Like, in politics, it should be like, Democrats think that people should pay slightly more taxes and healthcare should be free. Republicans feel like people should pay less taxes, right? And, I don't know, I'm not a Republican, I can't really think about that. But it becomes, you're a Republican, so you don't think, you think all black people are on welfare and, whatever, God created the American flag, right? Or if you're a Democrat, you think all Republicans hate black people and, I don't know, I can't really think of anything. It's Monday. I'm tired. Whatever, right? So
you said you love Mondays.
Oh, sweet Christmas.
You bringing back. But anyway, before you go, whatever.
Because I'm gonna bring up that topic. I just found the status.
Oh, all right, word. So, old man found the motivation for this because I thought that's what this was.
I don't even think I put this on the docket, but I don't know if I told any of you guys about this. Javi got in on this.
Yeah.
Toya might have seen it on Facebook. You might not have. So, recently there was some Australian college students.
Honestly, I don't know what motivated you to post that.
That's what it did. These guys in Australia thought it would be cute and funny to dress like Serena Williams, which, fine, whatever. Put whatever on, like, put a big butt out there, fine. It's all in fun and games. It stopped being fun and games when they started doing it and dressed in blackface.
Yeah.
So I said, and you guys remember Animaniacs, the Good Idea, Bad Idea? So I went good. I was like, time for good idea, bad
I
idea.
feel bad that I'm the only person that doesn't remember that.
That was my show.
I'll show you a clip later. It goes, good idea. Dressing up as your favorite Black Panther character. Bad idea. Doing it in blackface. And then I posted, we all know we're going to see these links popping up soon. Because every year someone does it. And every year they're like,
let me play devil's advocate. So, say you're a black person and you voted for Trump and you want to do his face as your face for Halloween and you put on white makeup.
That's fine.
They make masks.
No,
But you don't want a mask. You want to paint your face.
You can do white face all day. Just stay away from the black face. That's my opinion.
I don't agree with that.
That's fine.
My thing about it is, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. My thing about it, I'll give you an example. I went to this New York Comic Con and there was this guy dressed as Luke Cage. It was a white guy, white nerdy guy dressed as Luke Cage, right? Wasn't in blackface, but I know who he was because he had on the attire that looks like Luke Cage. He didn't need to put black makeup on his face to say I'm Luke Cage. So if I'm gonna dress as Donald Trump, I could put on a suit, I could put on a fucked up wig, and I could pinch my lips up.
You can take a bag of Cheetos and just throw it.
I can put on a bag of Cheetos to simulate a spray tan, orange.
No, his face.
On his face, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can do that. So
he's not feeling. I'm saying.
So he's like, no.
I'm just ignoring all. I'm just ignoring all that. Tori, you got something to say?
I'm gonna be the Klan for Halloween.
So I'm moving on.
I'm gonna walk around with the hood, and I'm gonna have my hood up so you can see my face, and I just want to see people's reaction. Because, like, why is it okay for them to wear blackface, but I can't be a Klansman? It's not okay.
So here's the funny thing about it. Someone said to me,
I like that you're across the board with it. I just wanted to.
I'm okay with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm not across the board with it.
I'm across the board with it.
Looks like we got a good old stand.
I think whiteface is fine.
I don't think it's so bad. I think it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Why is blackface bad?
Why is blackface bad?
Yeah.
Do we really need to get to the history of that?
Right. Do you know the history behind it?
I do know the history.
Because they were using it to make us look like gorillas and monkeys.
Exactly.
Like,
what was anybody using whiteface for?
Nobody was.
Exactly. Blackface is bad because of the history. I don't like. I'm petty with this shit. I don't think you understand, dog. Like, I'm sorry. Like, blackface has a history that's related.
So does the word nigga, and people still use it as a term of endearment.
Oh my god.
Did you cut that off before they make us pay for playing this?
Well, we was getting on to the next topic.
We're not. This is going to be.
So I'm just saying.
What?
So why can't it be across the board with everything that has a bad history to it?
What are you talking about?
The word nigga has a bad history to it.
And black people should be allowed to say nigga, and white people shouldn't.
Why?
I can give you an example. I can actually give you a reason for that. Shannon Sharp said the dopest thing ever.
I don't care what Shannon.
I call my wife babe. I call my wife babe. I call her poop. We have pet names for each other. Like, you know what I mean? If some random dude heard me call her like babe one day and called her babe, and he was just like, well, you can call her that. Why can't I? But don't get me wrong. I'm under the assumption that nobody should use that word. Period. I use it and I don't like using it. Like, I called you guys niggas and
we were acting accordingly, though. We were acting as such.
I use that word at least 20 times a day.
See, that's what I don't understand. Like, so, forget it. Let me drink.
What?
We shouldn't use it, but we do.
Yeah.
Really?
We shouldn't use it, but we do.
We should not.
No one should
that
use
word
it.
drives me insane. The same way women call each other bitches. That drives me nuts.
I can give you a historically significant reason why white people shouldn't use that word. I can't give you.
I don't think any of us should use it. We, as black people, shouldn't be using it because of the negative
connotation that goes with it.
The negative.
But we didn't use it in a negative connotation.
So what? We made it cool. So what? We made it cool. So what?
I'm not saying we made it cool. I'm just saying that when we use it, it's not a negative connotation.
You guys use it as a term of endearment. Like, that's
we use it as a filler for everything.
I don't.
It doesn't matter. It shouldn't be used. Period.
But it's used. It
should only be used in the negative term, and it should not be taken kind-heartedly.
I am going as Charlton Heston in whiteface with 2 guns. And every other word is going to be nigga.
The views
Because
of
you
the-
know that's how he was.
The views of the of the Old Man Wade show do not reflect those of the rest of the show. this nigga here. So
Pretty much.
So Toya with her slickness also played something that kind of fits into the same theme. So Ric Flair got married for the 5th time.
Who's Ric Flair? I don't know that.
Woo! The wrestler wore the robes. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, yeah, he's Ric Flair. So he got married for the 5th time. He has a song with, some rappers created a song called Ric Flair Drip. The hook goes, Ric Flair drip go woo on a B word. Funny, I'll say cunt, but I won't call a woman that word.
I would.
Huh?
Nothing.
So he walked down the aisle to that song.
The Ric Flair guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got married, he walked down the aisle to Ric Flair drip.
And his wife allows that?
Yeah. Fucking Ric Flair.
How old is his wife? She's probably like a 20-year-old or something.
He's probably, I think he's like 40s, maybe 50s.
Compared to him.
He's ancient.
Yeah.
One of the few people older than me.
He's at least in his 80s.
But the dopest about it was he knowing that there's a bunch of people that aren't of color there, sent to the N-word. I was like, oh, okay, all right, you get it. You know what I mean? And whether he did it out of respect or did it for his image, I'm glad he did it.
Okay.
Some points for that.
I'm just looking at Amanda right now. It's like I wish
He had the edited version.
I wish
Good for him.
you're not doing it. That's not happening, is it?
What? What's that happening?
So your fiance comes to you and goes, "Yo, I want to come down the aisle to some Onyx before you come down."
Depends. Which Onyx song is it?
Shut
And
down.
what part of the song are you going to walk down to? If it's not disrespecting women, calling them out their names in any sort of way.
So what if he came down to like Too Short?
Oh, shit.
Doesn't he only have like one song? I wish I was a baller. I wish I was a little
That's
bit
Skee-Lo.
taller.
That's Skee-Lo.
See, you can't talk to me about this stuff. Do they got a collaboration with Marsha Montano, Patrice Roberts? I don't know him.
How about Luke and 2 Live Crew?
Who? Bruh, sing the song.
Nah, I'm good. I don't think we can get away with that.
Okay, I don't know who they are. See?
Well,
Do you know who Luke and 2 Live Crew?
No.
I feel like I can't.
you got.
I might.
You got
Maybe
it?
when we go on break.
What was it? Break. What was it?
Show.
But what the fuck was it?
I can't even say it.
What's my favorite word? Bitch. Why do you want to say it like short?
Yeah, I never heard it. See? I never heard it.
Yeah. So it was. So you guys don't have anything on that?
Oh!
And all he just do is play something with the N word. You see what I mean?
Right.
And then the F
All right.
word. Okay,
So I'm gonna
we
go back to
gotta
the
talk Harvey
So
over here.
back to the blackface conversation. So I posted that thing like that, and some
You should drink.
one of my friends, who happens to be white, asked a legitimate question because he didn't know the history. So he asked why, and after we explained to him why, he didn't understand, but he got why it was offensive and said he wouldn't do it. Seems simple enough, right?
Yeah.
Simple enough. Shout out to Justin versus Justin. You know who you is. However, there was this one dude who had the audacity to compare it to Kaepernick kneeling and segregation
What?
because we weren't allowing him to dress in blackface.
But that's the hell I'm so. Oh my god. Yo, this is why I want whiteface to be a thing, because it will piss those guys off so much.
So
I hate those. Shit. I should have said I hate. I do hate those guys.
I hate those racist people.
No,
too.
I hate those
do.
guys. I hate those guys. Those guys that defend blackface, but at the same time say, I will never do it, but I have the right to do it. Shut the fuck up!
You do have the right to do it, but for every action, every action is a reaction.
Exactly.
And in this situation, it may not be an equal reaction.
But that's the thing. Like, go ahead. Go right ahead and do it. But don't go crying when you get fired from your job, get punched in the face.
Oh, yo, they firing folk out here for this shit. When they catch them online,
Good.
But that's the thing. People don't understand. Like, I try to say this every single time. As a black person, the more educated you become, the angrier you get at the circumstances that were handed to us as a people. Period. Like, blackface to me isn't just something like, oh, Yeah, if they do it, we should do it too. Like, I know the history behind that shit. Like, I understand.
I actually even posted the history to somebody about it. And he was like, why is it offensive? And I gave him the exact definition of why it's offensive. And it was funny because my homeboy Kev was like, don't even bother, dude. Their blinders are on.
Yeah. Those are the same people in not the same people. Sorry. I'm not saying that you guys are these people. But honestly, it's the same mentality that people had in the 20s when the Ku Klux Klan was becoming a thing, right? It was like, oh, they're just defending the white race from ignorance or whatever it is, right? Like, there's always excuses for white supremacy, right? And for the longest time, that fucking killed black people. That murdered black people. That's the reason why black men were convicted to death sentences because somebody said they raped somebody, right? And the jury would be like, you know what? That white woman sound lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, there's a history behind this shit. I'm sorry. Damn it. Damn it, Wade.
There is actually...
Why do we have to do this on a Monday?
It's going up on a
Because y'all
Monday.
canceled on the Sunday. Yeah.
For real. For real, we were here. So, my homegirl, let me not say her name, but it's funny. 2 white women that I know, I'm friends with them, they had the best explanation for it.
White women are woke.
Yeah, so she goes, 100%, so she goes...
They're the ones who voted for Trump.
Right.
Not all of them.
They're not that woke, but anyway.
She goes, 100% so done with white males needing their feelings taken care of in every conversation about race and sexism. This is a manipulative tactic that has worked for them so many times they aren't even aware it is not a legitimate argument. I didn't want to come back to this conversation today, but I saw this comment and I just wanted to say yes to this. Like 297 comments about this shit. And one of my favorites was someone goes, black guy posts something saying why it's not okay. White guy goes, well, why can't we do this? 4 black guys go, nah, B. One white guy understands. The other white guy goes, well, what about this?
Yo, shout out to Paco.
Yo, Paco.
Shout out to Paco.
Paco's my man.
Yo, shut down every fallacy that these colonizers threw out. You know, thank you. And there was another dude out there.
Kaiser Sose?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Kevin Kaiser Sose. Kevin trolls flat earthers. It's fucking great.
Yo, can I be real with Kaiser?
Yeah.
Yo, was he the one that said like he stopped caring about blackface after he watched White Girls?
He might have.
Yo,
it might have been.
Can we get an explanation on that? Like,
I'll ask him.
Because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
So, Johanna also posts, I said her name, I'll edit it. She goes, regarding the idea that the intent behind the action matters, I just want to point out that it's very possible to hurt someone without intending to. You can knock someone down the stairs, and if you don't look where you're going, and the fact that you didn't mean that the other person is exempt from skid knees. If you truly have good intentions, you educate yourself to understand others' perspectives and consider how they feel, i.e., look where you're walking. You intended means nothing if it reflects as you as a person.
I agree. I have this conversation with people all the time.
Yeah. I'm looking for Lydia's post because it was the funniest shit ever because it was legitimately, she was just like, oh, here we go. Multiple people of... This is Rob. Fuck him. I'll say his name. Multiple people of color don't mind blackface. And many people of color don't support Black History Month added to support segregation again. I see your face, Toya. Again, another point brought up again is the intent. So intent would be crucial. I'm not saying what he did was disrespectful. However, I am saying your point was a weak argument and could and should be applied to those other instances as equal. Also, what things were created as versus what they are now are different. Hence why we don't fly a swastika anymore as a sign of hope and gunpowder is not used as medicine. This is all him. Things go with intent. People would get offended if a white person went as a black character and vice versa. That's not true because I don't give a fuck if someone dressed up as Luke Cage. I've already stated that. If it was just a white person going blackface and random guy, yes, that was being ignorant. However, dressed to portray a specific character for an event, then there's no way of intending it to be harm or insult.
I don't get what you were saying.
So I responded, multiple black people don't mind white people saying the N-word. Multiple gay people don't mind straight people saying the F-word. You gonna start saying that too?
Basically.
My favorite argument was for doing blackface was if isn't
Can we just let that soak in one quick? That's going to be the episode title. My favorite excuse for wearing blackface.
So what did he? I forgot who it was, but the argument was if I can use face paint for white characters and not for black characters, isn't that a form of discrimination? Nigga.
There we go.
Yes, it is a form of discrimination.
What? Are you? Alright, I'm out. Alright, I'm out.
No, she has an
I'm
opinion.
out.
Let her go.
Nah.
It is a form of discrimination.
Really? Are you saying that? Are you for real?
We should allow them to do what they want to do.
They can do whatever they want to do.
You can do exactly what you want to do. Yeah, you trying to get people beat up. You should see that.
The troll face right now with Toya.
I am a Christian.
You really trying to get people beat up over here, man.
I would not do that.
Don't get them started with that. Man. So what?
Yo, I'm trying to find my homegirl Lydia's response to this because it was the funniest shit ever. Because then the complaint was, how can I properly look like a person how can I properly look like my favorite person if I don't put black on my face? Like, what if I wanted to go as Michael Jordan? And I was like, you shave your head, you put on a basketball jersey with the 23 on it, and you grab a basketball.
Or you find a mask that has his face on it.
And call it a day. So it's like, this literally, like, he was arguing, and I was like, yo, do you just want to dress in blackface? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Yo, because I'm not getting why anyone thinks this is okay.
It's okay to him, and you guys just dismantled his whole life dreams.
No.
And he doesn't understand why you guys did that to him.
So here it is. I found Lydia's comment. She goes, okay, so this is what I observed from this whole thread. White guys, I don't find blackface offensive as long as someone doesn't mean to be offensive. Why does it offend you, people of color? People of color explains literally exactly why it was and always be offensive and still is offensive. White guys, but that's not my intention, so regardless of everyone's feeling, I should be able to do what I want. She goes, me thinking to myself, one, if you aren't willing to listen to change, then why'd you even ask? Two, you literally just got told that this thing is racist, and you assert yourself right. You assert your right to do it. Right, you assert your right to do it anyway. Wow, I can't speak today. That's racist, regardless of your intention. You didn't mean to knock someone down, but you still did it, and it still hurt them. So if you continue to knock them down, then you're doing it on purpose and hurting them with hurting them on purpose. Not sure why this is a difficult concept.
You know, people are putting way too much words into something that should be simply, go ahead and do it, but if I see you, probably gonna put you in the eye.
We can all agree rape is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, where are you going with this?
We can all agree with that, right?
Wait.
No, we can all agree rape is wrong, right?
I don't even want to answer anything.
It's yes. We know rape is wrong.
Rape is definitely wrong, but I don't know where it's happening.
But how many people get away with it?
Oh, okay, all right.
This is what their argument sounds like. You're doing something specifically to hurt someone.
But what they're saying is that's not their intent.
And what we're saying is that intent doesn't matter.
People have physically and sexually assaulted someone and not known it. That happens. People get drunk, and then like in the middle of it, they regret it. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And someone, like, you say stop. You know what I mean? You hurt the person. Your intent wasn't to do it, but you still did.
I've never been in that situation.
Nigga, I heard girls say stop. I jump back and my clothes are on before I hit the ground. I'm not with that fuck shit, man. No. Like, you know what I mean? So if a whole world is just running around raping and killing people, that still makes it wrong. You can't go around doing shit and then say, I had the best intentions in mind. Motherfuckers, we dropped a bomb on fucking Japan. Yeah. That don't make it right.
That wasn't their intention, though.
It wasn't their intention.
So,
as long as your heart was in the right place, it's okay.
So I'm going to say this. Rape is wrong.
Yes.
I'm going to start with that.
Yes, rape is wrong.
Alright. I'm going to put that in a compartment.
Yo, that should be like the number one commandment. Wow.
Right.
Commandment.
And then I'm going to go back to blackface.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
Blackface is also wrong.
Next. What else is wrong? Being a Trump supporter is wrong.
Let me just tell you this.
Yo, you think Trump has blackface pictures?
He might.
He definitely has clan pictures.
Yo, I have to remember to start this episode with Trump's skit on Tikal 2000.
What's that?
Hey, Method Man, this is Donald Trump. We're all here waiting for the album. I'm gonna start the episode.
Is it really Trump?
Yes.
You think every rapper regrets ever like mentioning Trump or having him on a skit?
Yeah. No, because Trump was cool once upon a time. Yo, I don't think he
Was he though? Was that
Trump was
maybe a
cool.
cover up?
No, Trump. No.
But maybe he didn't really show his true side.
He might not have. He's also he's a very terrible businessman, but really good at PR.
He's an asshole.
Yeah,
I don't care.
he's a cunt.
I don't know. He's just
fuck boy 45.
I don't know who he is. He's just a really bad president. So during the conversation about blackface, Amanda came over here to cause trouble, and she showed me a text message from a friend of ours in Trinidad, who had the nerve to ask me if Donald Trump is still my president.
This nigga.
So.
Yo, this episode is. This is the most random fucking episode we have done, and that says a lot.
It's always random.
It's
Oh God, huh?
It's Monday. So where did that come from? Were you
What?
telling him the trash that we were talking just now?
No, I just said I'm going to go do a podcast recording. He's like, "Oh, you have a podcast?" I said, "No, it's my friend's podcast. I just feature on it from time to time." And I was like, "Oh, and Javi's going to be there." And then that's when he asked the question.
Yo, tell him to make sure he downloads it. Every fucking view helps. Oh, shout out to Tony at the ice cream shop. He's listening now.
Oh yeah.
But when we talked about,
I hope this isn't the first episode he listens to.
No. He said he's been going like through it all that. So but nah. So he's listening now. So that's cool. He said he'd come on and talk nerdy shit with us too.
Yo, he's a cool dude, man.
Yeah, cool shit. He seen me rocking my Jericho hoodie one day, and he was just like, oh, he's into the same shit I'm into.
Yo.
We talk Marvel movies and whatnot.
All right, so so what did we solve so far in this episode?
Nothing. We don't solve shit on this show.
Yo, listen, I like to make sure we solve shit.
I don't think we try to make up solutions. We just put the issues out.
I really think we're just bitching and complaining about stuff today.
So
I should put this out on YouTube only.
So blackface is wrong.
Blackface is wrong.
We said that already.
All right, we all agree that. Oh God, why rape is wrong?
Rape is wrong. Why is it a bad thing to say?
We talked about that on the previous podcast.
Yeah, it's obvious. All right. What did we start out with? What was your story again? I'm sorry.
We started off with
white privilege.
White privilege.
And
so let's see. If I'm looking at the docket, we had bitch ass people with privilege.
Yeah.
When and where did it
No.
start?
I'm not. I'm just saying. I think like so far, I think we've accomplished a whole lot.
We've accomplished something. Doesn't mean we fucking solved anything.
I'm gonna tell you.
What?
Man,
you are
Sit on the lap. She'll be okay with it.
You're underestimating the
You know
power
what?
of random banter.
Right.
The power of random
I'm
banter.
hungry.
Yo, Toya,
I thought Toya had a question.
Yeah, Toya, what is your question?
My question.
Yeah.
Did I have a question?
How you feeling? How you feeling right now?
I have a question.
Right?
I have a question I can ask if y'all want to before Toya gets into her thing.
No.
No. See, Toya's gonna allow you to start talking after she answers the question. Toya.
So
Toya!
Jesus Christ, man!
How you feeling?
I like you better when you're sober.
I asked a couple of friends.
I'm drinking the rest of this wine. Host privilege.
No, you're not.
Ooh, and the battle begins.
With what?
Stop. You asked a couple of friends.
Oh God.
What was their one dating deal breaker?
A dating faux pas, you might say.
I guess so. And I actually got a lot of answers. I got more than I expected. But what do you think the number one answer was?
Guy not paying.
Okay, so that was your answer?
Yes.
Okay, and Javi? Because he was all excited about that. He feels like he got the number
From
one
a girl's
answer.
perspective?
Just from anyone's perspective.
But seriously, that's hard.
All right, wait. What's a dating deal breaker for you?
Yeah.
Men and women, feel free to answer.
I
someone.
my dating hat on. Hold on a second.
Oh God.
I've been up the fucking game.
Yeah, I'm saying.
What is your
That shit's
answer?
fucked right now, bro.
My deal breaker is cheating.
But not
Okay,
dating.
so that was one of the top ones.
Can you be cheated on while dating? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
A deal breaker is a cheater.
But you're dating.
So we're not talking about like first dates. We're talking about while you're dating.
So like you're getting to know each other.
Wait.
I mean, people
See,
gave
that's
a
the
whole
thing.
bunch of answers.
Well, people are exclusive while dating?
See, that's the thing. Everybody has a different definition of dating, so it all depends on the person's definition. To me, if we're dating, you my man and I'm your girl.
That's crazy.
Okay, so
To
I'm
me,
gonna
I
go
think what
with.
you're talking about is talking. When you're in the talking phase, that's when you're getting to know the person. You're trying to build some type of foundation, and you're going to decide if you want to date.
Nah, that's a lot.
So that might be the phase you're talking about.
Yeah.
So when does your dating turn into a relationship?
When you guys have that meeting of the minds and say, let's make this official, just you and I.
So what do you do while you're talking? Is there any is there sex?
That's when you go on dates. You can have sex if you want to.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
But it's just one of those things. Like from like my relationship, you kind of just stop fucking around. Like, you know what I mean? You start realizing. So it's different with certain people. Some people, like Amanda, you need to have a conversation with someone so you know. Like, you don't want to hear this bullshit about how, oh, I didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? You need confirmation. You need...
Because I'm just that person.
Exactly.
I need to know where your mind is, and you need to know where mine is at, so that there's no...
Confusion.
Right. There's no confusion here. I don't want you thinking we're an item, and I'm like, oh, we just talking.
Okay, so you have a pretty good definition of dating in your mind. So what's your faux?
Yeah.
What's your faux pas?
Cheating.
I did. I said cheating. I said cheating's my cause.
So dating is like so for you dating is like
we're a couple.
The step right, but damn.
Sorry.
So when you no, not because you say that because I'm trying to like
register it.
Because if you're a couple and dating,
yeah.
what's the difference between dating and the relationship?
Yeah, what's the difference?
If we're dating, we're in a relationship. We're together.
Toya, what do you...
To me.
How do you know
Nah,
you're in a
don't
relationship?
judge me.
So for me, dating is the talking. And then relationship is a relationship.
Okay.
It's dating and talking is the same. We're going out, we're hanging out. It's not completely exclusive. We're like, vibing off each other, kind of giving the hints towards exclusive, but it's not exclusive yet. You're still trying to figure it out. And then you're trying to figure out if you want to be in a relationship with that person.
Okay. So then I changed my answer. If we're going off that definition, mine would be lack of honesty, lies.
Okay.
Like, don't lie to me. Let me know everything up front, because then I can make the decision on what my next step is. Don't choose for me. Don't lie and figure out, she's going to feel away. Let me feel away. But at least I was able to make the decision on what my next step is. Do I want to continue talking to you, or do I want to end this? Don't choose for me. So by you lying, you're not giving me a choice. You're disrespecting me because you're not giving me that chance, or show me any type of respect at all. I just feel like when you lie to me, you don't have any respect.
What kind of lame lies during the dating phase?
Bruh.
I feel like you gotta build up a relationship.
You'd be shocked.
You gotta have shit to lose.
Let me tell you something. People lie about having a whole family out there when they're dating. Okay.
I talked to a guy who claimed that he had a roommate, and like 2 weeks after us talking, all of a sudden him and the roommate got into a fight. I don't think he actually had a roommate. I think he was living with his mom's, and then he ended up living with me.
Wait. Let's put a pin in that one.
Yeah.
That's
picking up the homeless.
Because
Oh my god, have you guys ever heard of homosexual?
No.
This thing called homo.
We should wrap all that into that one.
But anyway, going back to what the question was, so the biggest answer was lies and cheating.
Yeah.
That was like the number one.
Hold on. Noun, homosexual. Hobo, H-O-B-O, sexual. A person sexually attracted to tramps as a... What? No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, okay. So then the other one was bad hygiene.
Okay.
A lot of people said that.
I don't think that's real, though.
Oh, person... No, it's wrong.
I think that depends on a girl's age and maturity.
And then bad attitude was another one that came across
Here we
a lot.
go. A person of the opposite sex who comes to visit you and wants to stay and live with you and starts a relationship because they're homeless.
Oh, I've heard of those guys, or even females too.
But that's why I think that's the point prior to the last point. Based on things in stories I've heard, is pretty much bullshit. I really think that there's a lot of dudes out here walking around dirty as shit, having sex with girls, and they accepting that. And there's a lot of shit passing around Anyways, I don't want to get too deep. It's gross, but anyways, yep.
Let's see what else we had on the table. We got toxic behavior. So
That seems pretty broad.
right, they didn't really go into details.
Yeah.
Too many kids was one that was thrown out there.
Too many kids?
I agree.
So
That's a cutoff for me.
feel like
Two's the limit. You can't have more than two. You're not dating me with more than two.
Really?
So, Amanda,
You're not
Everybody
marrying me with more than two.
Everybody has
Because I want to have my own. And if you have more than two, you're not even going to want to have another one because you're just tired of children.
Not true.
So,
Not true.
I want to have my own. I want to adopt one. I just see this big old grand life. And if you already got more
hit
than
the brakes,
two,
hit the brakes,
then...
hit the brakes. You want a bunch of kids.
No, I just want one. And I
Oh.
want to adopt one.
So, okay, so if you want to, you know you can adopt someone else's kids, right? Like,
Well,
my
nah, but
Flex did
It's
that.
not the same.
It is the same.
No.
Nah.
It's exactly the same.
I want to have my choice
I can
over
see-
the
I see
kid
both.
over the kid I
I see
adopt.
both. I see
Yeah.
what she's saying and I see what you're saying.
But it's-
But I don't really have a limit on kids because I got 3.
Yeah, you seem.
And I wouldn't want someone to be like, I'm not fucking with her because she got 3 kids. Bro, you didn't even get the chance to get to know me.
This
But
is
that's-
true.
but
But
that's the
see,
stipulation,
I feel
though.
like
I
it's
think
just a
that's-
preference. It's just
Just
a
like
I was about to
preference.
say that. It's all on the
yeah,
person's
it's a
preference.
yeah.
But I
But
also
to
think-
me, if I feel like if a guy has a lot of kids, are you taking care of these said
Facts.
children?
Yes.
If you're a deadbeat, don't look my way. Like if you're not providing any type of financial support to these kids, if you're not being able to get them, but then again, it can be tricky because depending on how many mothers they have these kids with, they may not all be in the best state of mind either, where they're allowing the father to be a father. So in this talking/dating,
I
stage,
have no sympathy for them because they chose her.
Toya. Toya, I have a
They
question.
You know
decided
what it
to
is?
dump themselves in her.
Hypothetical.
And so I have no sympathy for them.
Hypothetical question.
and you know what
To
though?
support kind of what you're saying, Amanda, right?
What?
Eddie Murphy.
What?
Eddie Murphy, right? Has like 45 kids.
You're thinking of Sean.
Not
You're
even
thinking,
that,
you're
right?
thinking of Sean Kemp.
No, but
Being
yeah.
the only person in the room with kids right now,
Yeah.
most people who say that are people with no kids.
Alright,
Because,
alright, we
and
know
I'm going to
that.
explain
Yeah.
why. People like to sit back and blame the people who had kids with someone and be like, oh, that's your fault. You knew who you were having a kid with. People change.
Yeah.
And children will make or break you, both for men and
No, I
women.
have seen that. I
Both
have.
for men and women. You could be in a long-term relationship with someone. You have the kid,
And
and
it's
they see
done.
the
It's
responsibilities,
weird.
and they're like, "I can't handle this,"
Yeah, I've seen
But I
and
that.
they leave. And both men and women do it. I'm not giving the tougher handle to men, and I'm not giving the tougher handle to women.
Mm-hmm.
Both sexes, I've seen it both ways. So you can't necessarily say that.
But if you chose somebody crazy or you chose somebody
You don't
homeless or you
necessarily
chose
see the
somebody...
crazy until the kid comes.
No, but I think so. We're conflating. So I
There's
think-
always signs.
Not all
There's
the time.
always
There really
No,
signs.
there
There
really
really
is
isn't.
not. I'm
There
going to
isn't.
use myself as a personal example. I was with my twin's father for 2 years, and we were living together before we planned our twins to have children. We didn't know we were going to have twins. That was just like the universe was like, "Hey, I got a joke." So
The universe.
he says, mind you now, he worked, I worked, he was helping pay the bills. I always knew where he was. If something was ever wrong with my car, I could use it. You know, we were living together.
Okay.
Okay? He said he doesn't want to have any kids until his youngest turned 5. She was like 3 when we met. She turned 5. Boom. I was like, so she's 5. What's up? Because I only had one kid at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, all right. We had kids. I'm pregnant now.
And twins.
He's coming home when he feel like it. He ain't helping out with the bills no more. That's pretty much the gist of it. Mind you now, I'm high risk because I'm pregnant with twins. You can't come home when you feel like it.
How long?
I'm
were
on
y'all,
bed rest.
how long were y'all together?
It ended when the twins were like 6 months because I was just like,
No, but how long before?
altogether we were together for 3 years.
3 years. So I understand what you're saying, right? That you can't know, right? You can't know somebody beforehand. But in an ideal situation, like, and we've had this conversation before, and not about
Yeah.
this situation, right? Not about this situation. But I honestly think before, and you were young,
Yeah, I was
and
25.
that's not even. Your kids are beautiful, right? Whatever.
I can't wait till they're old enough so I can play this shit for them.
But in the ideal
already
world,
listening.
and like for me, I feel like a lot of, and this is why I think I support what you're saying as well, Toya. In the ideal world, we will spend enough time, right? Not just to get to know somebody, like what they like to do, whatever, but we have enough time to get to know somebody's work ethic, like how they react under pressure, right? So having kids is a high pressure situation, right?
Right.
We've all in this room, I'm pretty sure, have been in high pressure situations, right? Not a kid necessarily, but I know how I react under pressure. The first time I dealt with real pressure in my life, I cracked. But it was low risk because I didn't have kids, right? And even though I personally cracked, my wife was there to support me in that situation. So she was able to support me in that situation because we had years of being together, years of issues to deal with, years of happiness, marriage counseling, all that stuff. Like the ideal situation, right? And even that might not have worked. But because we had that, we at least had some tools we could depend on, right? So I guess what I'm saying is that regardless of how much you think you may know somebody within 2-3 years, right? It's really not enough, in my opinion, right?
Well,
to make that type, to have that, if you had the ability to make the decision, right? I think in a perfect world, you need more time to get to know somebody.
I don't think you will ever know someone, no matter how long you know them.
That's fair. I disagree.
Because people let you know what they want you to know. I have been friends with your wife for about, how long y'all been married?
13 years.
6 years?
2018, so 8 years.
Y'all
in
did
October.
10. Okay, so 8 years.
Yeah.
Did you say they got married in 2018 and it's 10
No,
years?
you said they're in
It
2018.
is not
So the
October.
10 years that I've known your wife, I'm pretty sure there are things she has not told me. And I know for a fact there are things I have not told her.
Yeah.
I've known Mark since I was pregnant with Amari.
Yeah.
There are definitely things I have not told him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's things he has not told
But
me.
here's the difference. Since she's my wife, right? I hope. I'm going to say I hope. I'm pretty sure. There's way more things about her that I know. I know a lot more about her than you know about her, right?
Right.
And she knows
And
a
I
lot more
hope so.
about me because we
But
have that relationship.
I don't think you would probably know everything. And you probably don't tell her everything.
I know, but so this is how we approach it now as we get older. And again, you've been with us long enough to see us grow
Oh, yeah.
within our marriage, right? So we're at a point now where our marriage is our life. This is what we're married people, right? Like J. Cole, I think, has a verse where he's like, "We raised each other. Like I raised you, you raised me," because we spent our 20s together, right? Like that's a very formative, like.
That's when you're
You know
doing
what I'm
a lot of
saying?
transitions.
Exactly. So we know each other, right? We're at that position now where I know enough about her that I know that, all right, I can spend the rest of my life with her, right?
You have no choice.
I have no choice. But it doesn't even matter. Like, she annoys me more than anybody on earth, right? But like, I can deal with that.
I'm gonna tell you, the only people in
Yeah.
your life who can really annoy you are the people you actually give a shit about.
Exactly, and that's
Amanda annoys the shit out of me.
Hey, I own it, baby.
Yeah, but
Is she the fortune to your cookie?
Nigga.
Absolutely not.
No?
Maria's the fortune to him.
Yeah. It's like, you understand. Someone said that shit to Jada Pinkett Smith. And I'm like, it was on the Joe Budden podcast, and they were like, Will's gonna fuck him up. People forget Will Smith's from fucking.
I'm so glad you got that reference.
But nah, like, so that's just what it is.
You just need to know each other. Yeah.
I agree you know each other, but there are things. Here's something funny. There are things that I've told Diddy and Amanda that I haven't told my wife. You know what I mean? There are things that I've told my wife.
I told you everything, baby.
Nigga.
You such a liar.
No,
but
I'm
I
just
do
saying.
feel like in a relationship, you do ultimately hope that you know more than less.
But at the same time, I just don't feel like at any point you will always know someone, like fully to that extent.
No, I don't.
There's people who have been married for 25 years and then they wake up and then they're like, who is this person next to me?
Yeah, but you can't. But that's
There's always an exception to the rule.
That's not an exception or a rule. There's always a risk that might happen.
But life is a risk.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
again,
but
you'll never know someone fully.
I know, but you can't. But you can't. That can't be. That can't. All right. It can be because we all have our own facility to make our own actions, whatever. Right. For me, it's it doesn't matter because, like Mark always says, people are trash, right? People make trash decisions all the time, right? When you're in love with somebody and you've been with somebody long enough, you allow yourself to take that risk. You put yourself on the line for that, right? Like, I put myself on the line enough, right, to know that my wife isn't gonna like break my heart, right?
I'm not saying she was going to, but
well, it's a weird situation only because honestly, people don't realize that, like, I'll give you an example. This comedian said something, he goes, divorce should be easier, marriage should be harder.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So, like the idea of all that's going on is just kind of like, I'm never going to know everything about Maria. Like you said, she's probably never going to know everything about me. But I kind of like that. I like the fact that there are just certain things that she'll say to me that I never knew. And it's not even just about her keeping things from me. We evolve, we change, we become different people.
We become boring.
And she decided to open up another layer.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That's cool.
Exactly. I'm not the same person I was a year ago because of my life.
I think, and that's a good thing. People are supposed to grow and mature and become better people for themselves, for their families, for whomever. So I would hope you're not the same person that you were last year.
No, I'm not. Like, it's just like we all do different things. We all become different people.
Nah, I never change.
And sometimes people grow apart.
I keep that same energy at all times.
You can change. And you don't even mean to grow apart. What sometimes that person was to you and what you needed, what hole they filled, they may not fill anymore.
Giggity.
Disgusting.
Who hurt you? No.
Don't answer that question.
So you tried to say you tried to send that message like you leaving in 5 minutes. Like I didn't leave a pin in that last thing you said about some dude. So
and this has been
Hold on. Before we go, you got 4 minutes. I want to ask each one of you guys this question.
What?
We got 4 minutes. I gotta go.
4 minutes. Come on, we got work, man.
I gotta be up.
I'm trying to go home and make this chili.
I gotta go home.
For
I
real?
actually gotta
What you making with the chili?
Yeah, for
Hobo
real.
still live there too?
Yeah, can we roll through?
What?
Hobo still live there?
What?
Us?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure Hobo put his whole hand in it so y'all can't have
Yo,
it.
Hobo makes a bomb chili. He gave you that recipe, didn't he?
Yo, I'm gonna ask this question.
What's the question mark before somebody don't make it home?
We're gonna end it like this. I'm gonna start with Amanda.
Oh, why me?
Would you let your spouse sleep with another woman?
No.
If she was giving you $1 million?
I saw that question. I was like, I couldn't do it.
Wait. Before you answer, does she have to know that it happened, number one? Does she have to be there, number two? Because those things matter.
Woman comes up to you, propositions you, slaps you on the booty, Toya, and goes, I want to fuck your husband for $1 million.
Do I have to be there? Can I be somewhere else watching a movie and just
Yes.
like living my best life?
Yes.
All right.
But you will know what happened. You'll know there was insertion.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I want that $1 million. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I couldn't do it. I'm too territorial. It's not happening. Because now, what if she's better than me? The next thing you know, they're sneaking around, talking to each other. Now he got something on the side, and I'm thinking we just got paid out.
You better keep adding them zeros to that bank account if you got something on the side. Hello.
I'm sorry.
Yo, she paid $1 million, and she got paid $1 million to get there.
Ain't that much money? I couldn't do it.
She broken.
I couldn't do it. I could not.
Mark, answer the question.
Me?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
You couldn't let Maria.
And he better not even be so
have
stupid
fun
as
with
to even
someone.
ask me the question, because that means he let the thought process, and he felt like
It's $1 million.
I don't care. It ain't happening. See, for me to marry somebody, he has to already know I ain't even bringing this dumb shit to my wife. Let me not even mention it to her.
Have you guys ever seen that Thanos thing I posted? It's just like Thanos looking confused. He goes, "Nigga, what?"
He
with the equations and stuff. All
no, it's just another one. It's literally.
She
just
said
Thanos
he best not
He better not
ever.
even be like, babe, let's sit down and talk. And then I'm like, yeah, honey, babe, what's going on? And he'd be like, yo, this lady wants to do me for $1 million. Bruh, you kidding me? I'm going to bed.
I'm bringing it to my wife.
If I ever get married, he better not ever come to me.
It's funny.
With
Maria
that.
said she let her do it.
No, it ain't happening.
I'm bringing it to her. I'm like, yo, listen, some chick just offered me $1 million to have sex with me.
Now,
see, that's different. But if he was to be like, can I do it? If
Oh
you
no!
wanna
I'm
go get a book,
It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of these. Hey, some chick just offered me $1 million to have sex with me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. No. Let me tell you what would happen. Let me tell you how the conversation would go.
You know what?
All of y'all know my wife.
I would drop kick you, okay?
Yo, all of y'all know my wife, so y'all are gonna know this is 100% how she would react. I'd come home one day, I texted her, I got a funny story for you. She'd come home, she goes, well, so what happened? Yo, I was at work, and some chick offered me $1 million to fuck her. And she would look me dead in the face and go,
Did you do it?
no, she wouldn't even do what you do. It goes, so where's our money? And that's for the Old Man Wade Show. I want to thank Super Bowl Harvey, the lead guitarist, and
the bass.
Let's go with the bass.
Cause I'm all
Slapping
about
the
that
bass.
About that bass. No trouble.
Apparently she's a douchebag.
Is she?
Yeah.
I
Who's
really
that?
like her as an artist.
So do I,
Like
but she's a douchebag
that.
apparently.
I really like her.
And
Music.
Y'all so
the
dumb.
CEO of Panda Care.
You're so whack. Get with the times.
No, I'm good.
Blah.
Oh shit.
You're
I see what you
whack.
did there. So Amanda, you got something to promote?
Blah.
If you got kids, you got a date night, you just want to go out with your boo, you want to go out with your girls, hit up Panda Care. Panda Cares for you at gmail.com. Panda Care on Facebook. Panda Cares for you on Instagram. 857-342-5070.
Spells Panda Care for you, please. With
Panda, like the animal. Panda. Care. CARES. The number 4, the letter U at gmail.com.
Alright, Harvey, you got anything to promote?
Yo, just love and prosperity. And hopefully we don't get a rapist Supreme Court justice.
We should have talked about that first. Toy, you got anything to promote?
I am a beautiful woman, so if you're a single man who's looking for a hot date, no, I'm playing. You have started to sound like one of those places. Yeah.
Yo, looking for hot dates in your area?
Looking for hot dates in the area? Call 1-800.
Damn it, Wade.
Damn it, Wade.